everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Before we do anything, I want to say this. Stay tuned to the end of the show because I've got big news that is a big announcement, something that will save you dollars as you shop for record players. You're definitely not going to want to miss that. But today's show is interesting to say the least. We ran into, and you'll have to find out, is it the best or the worst? It's either the very best or the very worst all-in-one turntable solution I've ever seen. You're not going to want to miss this. Welcome back to the studio. As you can see, this box is massive. It's hanging over the front edge of my minuscule workbench, and as such, I'm a little nervous as to whether or not the product is going to fit on here, even to demo. Also, just because it's on my mind, this little thing up here that we recently reviewed, I was thinking of using it as a prop because it's Nixie tubes and it's cool and whatnot, but I was in here, getting ready to film, and I noticed a whine, and I realized that thing emits a whine as soon as it's turned on, no matter if the volume's up or down, and it just drives me batty, so I turned it off. Just so bummed because that is such a cool looking device, and it just didn't quite live up to it, unfortunately. But that's not this video. This video is all about this. This is a system in a box, everything you need to play records today. No extra equipment needed. Just buy it, put your record on, and hopefully enjoy it. But is it any good or is it garbage? There's only one way to find out. We got to open this box. Okay, it looks like we've got a retail box inside. I'm not going to take that out. I'm just going to open it inside the other box. This is a good time also to mention the fact that I did receive this product sample at no cost to me. However, my opinions, as always, are my own. I also want to make it clear that the manufacturer did not pay me to do this review. They just sent the sample, and I'm willing to take a look at a record player and give my thoughts, and hopefully we can find something that's a great option for a beginner. But we've got a long way to go before we can make that determination. Okay, everything's out of the box. I think it'll fit on the bench, maybe barely, but we've got the acrylic dust cover. We've got the platter. We've got the unit itself, some accessories packed in here, and a manual, and even little rubber stops for the dust cover separated out. That is a thick manual. That thing would actually go on a bookshelf. I'm assuming it's just in multiple languages, but time will tell. Up top here, we've got some accessories. Wow, it's already open. Looks like it just got cut. Maybe when I was opening the box. Over here, we've got the counterbalance, and that's just taped into the side there. I think it's fine when they put accessories in the side like that. Just got to be careful, as I always say, to not miss anything. But I like it when they put them up on top here, so you really can't miss it. Okay, let's go ahead and take these pieces off. Does kind of sort of fit. I think it'll be all right. We've got the unit wrapped in a big bag. I'm going to gently remove said bag. And we'll see what we get. It's got some heft to it. I can tell you that. It does look cool. So far, so good. I mean, I think it definitely looks cool. Look at this. It's another unit with a separate bag over the tonearm. That's the third one of these that we have seen now. Okay, and let's go ahead and take that off next. Yeah, this mechanism is starting to pop up, guys. This is the third time, I think, recently, and maybe even a few times before that we have seen this all-in-one mechanism. And you know what? You guys are always saying, and I agree, that the Skywin off-the-shelf mechanism is a bit tiring once you've seen it so many times. That being said, this may be the new version of that, and it's a step up because this all-in-one off-the-shelf mechanism appears to come standard with the Audio-Technica 3600 moving magnet cartridge, a counterbalance design, and that we're heading in the right direction there. If this becomes the standard, wouldn't it be cool if we started seeing more suitcase players with these on there? Now, a lot of people will just instantly dismiss suitcase players as being ceramic Crosley type cruisers, but I would like to remind you that Crosley and even other companies sell suitcase players that have magnetic cartridges, and they have for many, many years. So it's a bit of a misnomer to just discount every suitcase player out there. Okay, yeah, this thing is hefty. It's got good weight. It's not ridiculously heavy, but it's definitely not a lightweight. And the idea is that this is everything you need all in one solution. It's got built-in speakers, all the amplifiers, preamps, everything you need. And you just play records. A little fit and finishes, a little bubbling down here in the corner on the veneer. Not a huge deal, a little bit down here as well. Here is the speaker grill. I love the fact that it has a rigid kind of grill underneath there. I don't think this is removable. Is it removable? I'm either going to destroy it by trying to remove it, or I'm going to show you something. I'm thinking that's not removable, so I'm not going to remove it, but I'm going to show you a picture of what it looks like underneath. What I love is that they have done what I always say they should do. That is to put the low frequency speakers in the middle and the high frequencies on the outside edge to help widen that stereo image. Looking at the bottom, we've got these like silicone rubber type of feet that are fixed, but they look good. And also the bottom of the veneer, it's all sealed down here, which is good. I like that. We've got our sticker there. No adjustments for speed accuracy or anything else on the bottom. There's also no access panel, so you won't be doing anything back here. Looking at the back panel, this is interesting. I love it when stuff is different. I haven't seen this before. So this is plastic, but it's got a nice, good look to it. There's our power switch. We've got a USB connection. We've got a 15-volt DC input, a phono switchable preamp, which is great. So you can use your own external preamp if you want. Obviously, you've got aux out, line output, so you'll be able to connect this to your external sound system. And also you've got an aux input. Not much else back here. Going by my own definition, this is a record player, not a turntable, because it has built-in speakers. That being said, it does have that connectivity, so you can hook it up to your sound system and use it as a turntable. So it's really kind of 2-in-1. All right, so we talked about this mechanism. I mean, everything on this mechanism that I've seen so far is good. We've got like brass pieces, metal where it should be metal, plastic is okay here. This is shock mounted. So for everybody freaking out that we've got speakers built in, the shock mounting should help isolate that. This is a metal tone arm. It's all room temperature now, so it's hard to see. I believe, is that metal? I can't quite tell if that's a metal or plastic stub. This will be a plastic cover over the gimbal, but that's a good gimbal. Like I said, I've seen it now a few times. We've got a metal tabbed head shell and the Audio-Technica 3600, as I mentioned before. But before we take a close look at those, let's go ahead and put on the Platter. This is a good one. This is the standard issue cast aluminum Platter. We've seen it many times before. It is a belt-driven turntable, so the belt resides there on the lower edge. So we can go ahead and lower this on right now, and we'll attach the belt next. Okay, they give us a little ribbon there to help things. So we're gonna, this blue tape is so sticky, sometimes it leaves behind little bits of, like right there, it did little bits of itself. All right, so we're gonna gently use the ribbon to pull the belt away from the subplatter and rest it here on the pulley, and then let go of one side of the ribbon, and then gently pull this away. And you can use your finger. You don't need to be afraid about touching the belt. Your oils aren't gonna destroy it or anything. Now, the contour, I'm gonna pull this away so you can see, but the contour of the pulley is raised in the middle and recessed on the edges, and then obviously there's these wide discs on either end. That's designed to keep that belt in position in the middle. You want to make sure that the belt doesn't ride up like this. If you see this happening, the speed is going to be off. So you want to make sure that it's down there in the middle. It'll pretty much self-regulate its position. The other thing is always roll it a little bit this way to make sure the belt's flat over here, and over here to make sure the belt's flat over there. Sometimes these can get twisted, and again, if the belt's twisted, it's too tight, it's too the circumference of it changes, you could have an issue with speed. So to keep your speed as accurate as possible, follow those steps. But once you've set it, you can forget it. Okay, we're going to set our counterweight the old-fashioned way. So there is the metal weight with the plastic disc on the front. We're going to rotate it on like so, find our float point, which, I gotta take the the stylus guard off. Don't forget to take that off. And we can put our Platter mat on now, by the way. Here's the felt Platter mat with the logo, up or down. You can put it either way you want. And like I've said numerous times, this Platter is almost full size, but not quite. There's a little bit of a gap on the edge to give you some leverage on putting the record on. I like this style. I think that's really good. Okay, let's go ahead and float this tone arm to where it's neutral. I'm trying to do this without having to make any edits here is tricky. Okay. Almost there. Pretty good. You have to have a decent gimbal to be able to do this. Okay, so that is now where it should be. It's balanced. We can lock this now. Then we come back here to the disc only, just the plastic disc, not the base, not the back part. And we can rotate this to 0 because we've now balanced it. It is neutral. Then we rotate it forward until we apply 1 gram, 2 grams, 2.5, 3. This cartridge tracks anywhere from 2.5 to 4 grams. I think I'd like to put about, probably, let's put 3.25 on there for now. If we have any issues tracking later, we can revisit that. If you have a digital gauge, or even an analog gauge, it's always good to verify those numbers, but it just goes to show you don't have to have a gauge in order to set that value. There will also be instructions in here to kind of in the manual to kind of tell you how to do that as well. Sometimes they have their own methodologies, but that's kind of the standard way to do it. All right, looking a little closer now, we do have a nice metal cueing lever, which I like, and a little rubber lined lift shelf, and it rests in a neutral position. So whether or not the cue lift is up or down, you can put it into the tone arm rest and put the clip on for safety. As far as these knobs, I've definitely seen these before. They are nice. I believe they are machined metal as well. Good drag. That's the volume and power switch, and this is the mode switch. So 33, 45, or Bluetooth. I believe this receives Bluetooth. It may also transmit it, but at least it receives it. I think it just receives it. All right, there it is. When you put the dust cover on, by the way, it was very tight fitting that. I felt like I was going to break it when I put it on. The rubber stops are pre-installed, so these ones that come with it are, I guess, extras, but it does have the little rubber stops on the side. It's not tinted. It's totally clear, which is fine. I mean, actually, I think there's a very slight blue tint if you look at the plastic sideways, but it's pretty much clear, nearly clear. And yeah, that's everything. That's all you need to play a record. But the big question remains, how does it sound and how does it work? Let's start by doing some tests. Let's test and see if there's any anti-skate and see if it's got correct speed. Okay, I almost had to take that dust cover off because there's just barely any room on this table. All right, let's start with the anti-skate. I have a feeling it does not have anti-skate, but all right, turning it on, we are going to switch it to 33 RPM mode. I need to flip it on back here because there was a switch back there, and the red LED lights up. So this should start spinning when I move this over here. By the way, last call, final call on the latte and whipped cream edition 45 adapters. We've got those sets. We've got something very exciting coming right around the corner. We've never done it before. It's something we've never done before. So I can't wait to share that with you. But if you're a completist and you're trying to collect all of the adapters, that one is almost going to be mothballed. But I'm going to put it right here just so we can verify rotation and all that good stuff. All right, so what we should see here when I drop this stylus in order to test the anti-skate is that tone arm should pull in to the middle and kind of stop. It should not keep going. If it pulls all the way in, then we know there's no anti-skate. So let's see. Yeah, there's no anti-skate. It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that. Will that cause an issue on this level of equipment? That is up for debate. But ideally, we want this to have anti-skate applied. Somebody also brought up a very good point, very interesting point I hadn't thought of before. When it comes to anti-skate, does the anti-skate metric apply at all tracking forces? And what I mean by that is, do certain tracking forces, whether it's tracking heavier or lighter, necessitate anti-skate more or less? So if you've got a light tracking tone arm and cartridge setup, like 1.5 grams versus 4 grams or 5 grams, does the need for anti-skate change depending on that? Now, like I always say, on an entry-level piece of equipment. And this could be wonderful. This could be great and perfect in every way and still be beginner, and that's fine. Beginner doesn't mean bad. It just means affordable, and it's a starting point. You know, there's a difference between quality entry level and non-quality entry level, and that's what we try to discern here on our channel. At an entry level of equipment, you know, the anti-skate capability or lack thereof may not be as big of a factor as it would be on a higher end setup. So I will leave that right there. All right, this is a speed test. It's also a strobe warning. So if you're sensitive to flashing things, you may want to look away now. And we're going to zoom in right down here, like we always do with the lighting, adjust it appropriately, and see how accurate this thing spins. Okay, we're going to be looking at the lower band first. That's 33 RPM. And we're looking for those lines to be as stationary as possible. And as you can see, they're marching a hair to the left. So that means it's a hair fast, but it's pretty minimal amount. And once the needle's dropped and, you know, that is put into play and the belt stretches out a bit and the system sort of works itself in, that may, you know, eventually clear itself up. I've noticed factories like to set it that way on purpose. So I'd rather have it a hair fast than a hair slow. Next, we're going to go to 45 RPM, which is the middle band. And usually this follows suit. So yeah, it's a little fast as well. I would not worry about it. I would love to see two things on this: that it doesn't have a pitch knob, so you can adjust the speed if you need to, and then also a tone knob. Wouldn't that be cool? Unfortunately, we don't see that too often. We saw that recently on something, but you don't see it often enough. And I mentioned it before, but this does have the 3600L with the carbon fiber cantilever. It is a wonderful moving magnet cartridge. Also, look, we've got nice insulated tonearm wires. So yeah, this is great. It's a great cartridge. People underestimate it sometimes because it is so affordable. You can buy a new one online for like 15 bucks. You can walk into Walmart and buy one for 25 bucks. But the fact you can walk into Walmart and buy any phono cartridge is pretty impressive. Stylus replacements are 10 to 15 bucks. So yeah, this is a really cool option to have, and it sounds really good. It sounds amazingly good.
You're watching Record-ology.
How are you doing today? I want to tell you how much I appreciate you stopping by and watching this video. We very, very much appreciate you being there. There we go. We got a record on it now, which makes sense. It's a record player after all. This is Vinyl Moon number 95, if you're paying attention to that. This is new and upcoming music. I don't always use this because the Vinyl Moon stuff sometimes can be somewhat experimental, and they'll add popping and scratching noises, which is kind of counterintuitive to what we're trying to do here to demonstrate equipment. But sometimes, you know, the tracks are really, really good. The pressings are always top notch and really, really cool. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try this out. This is 33 RPM. We'll just skip through it. This will be a mono ambient test, what I'm hearing in the room with my boom mic on the camera. All right, before we get started with that, I want to do a couple of things here. Here are the specifications, and I wanted to point out the speakers. More powerful than I thought they would be. They are two 30-watt speakers. Those will be the low-frequency speakers, and then two 10-watt silk tweeters, which is really good. That should sound fantastic. Please let the preamp be good. Please let the preamp be good. And then they even include an alignment protractor, which is nice. I also found out that it does have an auto stop. So apparently, at least this unit, maybe other units with this mechanism as well, but it's one of those ones where you leave it for like 3 minutes and then it stops on its own. Yes, it's not distorted. It sounds good. Yes, I'm so excited. Sounds really good. It really, really does. I'm so glad it sounds good. Yes. heart when it comes to felt mats. I used to immediately replace those with something else. But now sometimes I leave the felt mat on. I don't mind a good felt mat. It's a pretty good surface to spin your records on. It also gives really good traction too. So when you're cleaning a record like I just did with this one right here, if you're using an acrylic mat or something that's really slippery, sometimes a disc can spin on there and arguably potentially scratch. Whereas this is gripped much better by the platter. So you can push down on the brush a little bit more when you're cleaning it without it slipping. Okay, put the Sweet Grease 45 on here. Let's go ahead and listen to 45. We don't listen to 45s nearly as much as we should, but here is 45 RPMs.
Well, crazy, crazy, say that I clash a beauty lady. She never leave you, maybe till someone comes again. Crazy, crazy, say that I high fashion lady. She never leave you, maybe till summertime comes again. She's so fine, drinks my wine.
This is so awesome, guys. We may have a contender for the new best all-in-one recommended entry-level system in a box for people. This sounds great. This sounds wonderful. It's clean. It's smooth. It's bassy. It's punchy. It's got a lot of volume. Everything about this is just perfect for the beginner. If it had a tone knob, a pitch knob, and an anti-skate, it would be literally and in every way perfect. As it is, I think this is an incredible starting point for somebody. Or an extra system if you have a need for a system in another room, if you're already established with your favorite turntable, etc. This may be a good contender. Quality build, good engineering, the sound is good. They've got a good preamp in there, which I'm so grateful for. That was my biggest fear, is that this would have a bad preamp, because we've seen like 2 in a row with bad preamps recently, and I don't want that to happen again. So I'm always cheering these guys on. I want there to be a success with every new system. I'm as disappointed as you are when something doesn't turn out good. So I'm excited. This is good. This is really good. Okay, it is time for a direct feed. I'm going to connect you directly to this unit, and then we are going to listen to clips from the other side of that Vinyl Moon record.
I'm sorry that I let you in. Sorry that I can't feel this, but I know we need
anyone else you see, beautiful, coming free, paying what's under.
Like you and I need you, but I've been in a strange state of mind. I don't care if you'll never be mine.
It sounded fantastic. Absolutely perfection for what this thing should be. Full, rich, present, no boxiness, no tinniness, no distortion, clear as a bell. I am truly impressed, and I'm so grateful because we've had quite a few rough ones, especially recently. So I'm glad to hear some good ones. All right, I almost forgot in my giddy excitement to test the Bluetooth. Now, usually Bluetooth is the easiest thing for a system to do well, so I'm assuming this will be great. Now watch it, I'll be completely wrong. But here is a Bluetooth ambient test. We're back to the microphone in the room, and this will be mono now. So here we go with a Bluetooth test connecting my phone to this speaker system, and here we go.
when I wake up, I can't even stay up.
Like a babadoo, mad slump, brushing off the gump like a vacuum, suck it up, sissy flowing fat like a panda.
Otra vez, nadando en la pista como un pez. El MVP del año, tú eres el sabor del mes. Red top down on the 63, Glock 17 in the ocean breeze.
From one lover to another, I had me a boy, turned him into a man. I showed him all the things.
I keep hearing you're concerned about my happiness.
All right, my friends, and that's going to do it. Yes, it was a good one. It was a very good one. 2 thumbs up on this. get one now while you can. I don't know how long it's going to last. It's a great unit. I am so glad that we had a winner here. We needed a winner. It's been too long since we had a solid winner. It's entry level, guys. You never know if it's going to be good or not. This one is. So how do you know which entry level, or any product for that matter, is a good one and is Record-ology approved? This is a great segue to announce our new Amazon store. That's right. In the past, we've put Amazon links that just kind of go out into Amazon in general. But how do you know kind of what we recommend for different categories? Everything from preamps to record players to accessories, even records. And my wife has even put together recommendations. We've collected that all in one place in our new Amazon store, which will be linked in the description of this video and every video going forward, and in our main channel links as well. You can go in there and see my top picks for every category and get a killer deal in so doing. My friends, that's going to do it. Oh wait, that's not quite it. We've got other things coming your way too. We talked about the new, something to do with adapters. I can't quite tell you what that is yet, but that's going to be cool. Partially adapters, there's more to it. We're kind of putting together something we've never done before. And have you looked at our merch shop before, our spring merch shop, which should be down below this video? There's some new stuff in there, some pretty wacky and fun designs that I hope you enjoy. All of this obviously helps support the channel, helps us bring you more content each and every week. We're doing like 2 videos a week, and maybe 3 videos a week. We're doing a lot of stuff per week right now. Hope you're enjoying it. We enjoy having you. But my friends, that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting, and we'll see you next time.